Amara was a young, beautiful woman, deeply in love with her husband, Daniel. For 3 years, they prayed for a child, and when Amara finally became pregnant, their home was filled with overwhelming joy. But their beautiful story was about to take a dark and unexpected turn, all starting inside a quiet hospital room. Labor came early. Daniel was out of town on a business trip, not due back for 2 more days. Amara waited, hoping the pains would slow down, but they only grew stronger. By midnight, the contractions were sharp, relentless. She called Daniel, sent messages, but there was no response. With no family nearby and the pain becoming unbearable, Amara did what any responsible woman would do. She grabbed her hospital bag, hailed a cab, and went to the hospital alone. It was a simple, necessary decision, but it would become the missing piece in a shattered puzzle. The hospital was a whirlwind of activity that night. Nurses rushed down corridors, doctors moved from ward to ward, and new lives were arriving every minute. Amara was wheeled into the delivery room. She cried, she screamed, she prayed. The pain was immense, but then, finally, she heard a baby's cry. A nurse announced it was a girl. Amara caught just a fleeting glimpse of her daughter before sheer exhaustion pulled her under. She drifted in and out of consciousness. What she didn't know was that while she was weak and vulnerable, life-altering decisions were being made around her. Hours later, when she fully woke up, a baby was placed in her arms. She was tired, confused, and weak. She noticed the baby was cleaned, wrapped, and occasionally taken away, but she didn't question it. She was in a hospital. She trusted the system. She trusted the professionals. 2 days later, Daniel returned. His heart swelled with pride as he held their baby girl. They took photos. They chose names. They celebrated with family and friends. They went home and settled into the beautiful chaos of parenthood, sleepless nights, diaper changes, midnight feedings, and first smiles. For a while, their life was perfectly normal. They were a happy, young family, until the questions began. As their daughter grew, Daniel started to notice things. It wasn't sudden, it was a slow, creeping realization. The child's facial features felt unfamiliar. Her complexion didn't quite match either of them. The shape of her nose, her eyes, the texture of her hair, nothing seemed to align. Friends would make light-hearted comments. She doesn't really look like either of you, or maybe she'll grow into it. At first, Daniel brushed it off. He told himself children change as they grow. Family members tried to reassure him, maybe she looks like a distant relative. But as months turned into a year, the differences became too stark to ignore. Then came the behaviors. She didn't respond to his voice in that familiar way, and her mannerisms felt foreign. Daniel started comparing her to his own childhood photos, then to Amara's. Nothing matched. The more he watched her, the more unsettled he became. He tried to convince himself he was just overthinking. But the seed of doubt had been planted. Daniel grew distant. He stopped playing with the child as much. He avoided conversations about her. Amara felt him pulling away but couldn't understand why. The warmth in their home turned cold and tense. Until one night, Daniel asked a question that shattered the silence. "Amara, are you sure?" She knew exactly what he was asking. Her heart broke into a million pieces. Days later, he said the words out loud. "I'm doing a DNA test." He explained it wasn't out of accusation, but out of sheer confusion. Amara was deeply hurt, but she agreed. She knew she had never been unfaithful. The test was done. The wait was agonizing. When the results arrived, Daniel read the paper twice, his face pale. He handed it to Amara. He was not the biological father. The world stopped. The silence in their home was deafening. Daniel walked out, needing air. Accusations flew. Trust crumbled. The word divorce hung in the air. Through it all, Amara repeated one thing, her voice shaking but firm: "I did not cheat." As their marriage teetered on the brink of collapse, a new, terrifying question emerged. If Daniel wasn't the father, and Amara was faithful, then where did this child come from? Their minds raced back to that fateful night, the loneliness, the confusion, the brief, hazy moment after the delivery. Amara pleaded with Daniel, "Let's go back to the hospital. We have to find out what happened." Desperate for any answer, Daniel agreed. At the hospital, they demanded records. Another DNA test was ordered, this time for both Amara and Daniel against the child. When the results came in, the doctor's expression was one of shock and disbelief. The child belonged to neither of them. Their baby girl was not their biological daughter. An investigation was launched immediately. Delivery logs were pulled, and the staff who were on duty that night were questioned. It was discovered that two nurses and one doctor had attended to Amara. Under intense pressure, the horrifying truth finally came out. That same night, another woman had also given birth to a baby girl, her fifth daughter. Her husband was desperate for a son and had threatened to leave her if she had another girl. Money exchanged hands in the dark corners of the hospital. And in an act of unimaginable cruelty, Amara's newborn baby boy was switched with the other woman's baby girl and sold to a family who wanted a son. The medical staff were arrested, but the damage was done. Amara and Daniel's son was gone. The nurses had no contact information, no name, no way of tracing the family who had taken him. Their real child was lost to them, a ghost in a story that should have been theirs. This heartbreaking story teaches us some powerful lessons. First, not every DNA scandal is about infidelity. Sometimes, the truth is far more complex and sinister than we can imagine. It's a reminder to seek understanding before jumping to conclusions. Second, it highlights the importance of having a trusted person with you during childbirth, especially for first-time mothers. In moments of vulnerability, having an advocate by your side can make all the difference. Thank you for listening to this incredible story. For more real-life tales that will make you think and feel, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Seach Tales. Follow us for more.